So you're watching a serious video of how to make 2D game in Unity, and we're talking about animation. So previously we already finished the animation of idle. So if I click play, and you can see that I know the animation is a little bit subtle, right? But you actually can see that it is our little soldier here got a little bobbling hand as well as bobbly head. Okay, so but we are going to make this soldier actually running. So I think I already got this running or walking animation. Walk. Yeah, because I already downloaded the 9 file that we download that for free in the asset store. So what I'm going to do is just use it, but it's not necessarily have to be walking. You can say this is running, and then we get all sort of animation. You can see that we got attacking, we got this I don't know, dying, listening, yeah, idle, and jumping. We got attacking, and if you don't know where to look, it's here, right here. Okay, and we got this walking. So let's just stick with the walking. As I said before, you need to sort of expand it in order to use that. So expand, 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 and then it's winning. So you can choose like this. So I think you need to hold in the command in order to do that. So you select that, and you can right click and you can create animation, and let's see, we got this your animation. Okay, and if you click it will generate new animation, and let's just say that is the walking animation. Okay, so walking, and of course you can name whatever name you want. You can even say that it is a I don't know, running animation, because I think if you just adjust the speed it can still be running. I think it's already giving a huge space between his feet, so you can see it's running. But yeah, you can also name it walking according to the asset provider. But as I said, there is no definite rule for that, but you can always do whatever you like. It's your game, okay? Your game, your say. And remember, once you create this, you can just directly move it inside. Okay, so you can click and directly move it inside of it. But I do not recommend it, because you are going to make your project organized. It's a good habit. Okay, so you can go back. This is assets that you download file. Okay, so you're going to make your own file. So you're going to move that into your animation. Okay, so we get idle and we got player. So what I'm going to do is to go inside of this file and click this walking, and I'm going to drag that inside of animation. So we got a walking animation here, and then we can add that to right side of this view, and this is called animator. Okay, and inside the animator we got all sorts of animations, and I think this looks pretty good. So basically what I'm going to do is to make a transition from idle to walking. So we can right click this idle. Let me just make it bigger, because yeah, so you guys can see it more clearly. We are walking right here now. And remember, if you want to click and drag, you're going to hold the middle mouse, that is the wheel in your mouse. You hold it and you can drag it. If you don't have that, for example, if you're using a sort of a magic mouse, I strongly recommend that you got a you buy a mouse that have a right click and left click and the middle wheel. This is much easier, especially you are doing game development and say the 3D modeling. I also got a tutorial in if you want to use Blender, something like that, you need to got that mouse. It's much easier. So you can make transition and click and drag to walking. Okay, so you got a transition from idle to walking. So you want this this little guy just transition from idle animation to walking animation. So here comes to the detail part. Yeah, so here comes the devil. It's devil in the detail. So we can click this transition and we can fine tune that. This will have make a huge difference in user experience, player experience. So, for example, if you are playing as a soul-like game, Dark Soul, something like that, or the recently Elden Ring, something like that, you will feel uncomfortable when you use controller to control that, because everything's so real, and in real life you can't possibly just run that and rolling around and cast a spell and hit it and block at the same time. Okay, so you can't just do that, because you're human. You are supposed to do a thing, and then if it got interrupted, you're going to maybe fall back, something like that. Okay, so when you are actually build a game, and you need to sort of consider what kind of experience that you want to bring to your user. Okay, so if you want to be more realistic, more sort of a stickiness of the player, so it become a little bit hard for the players to control. So the lagginess that we're talking about, for example, if you just the player just hit hit a walking or running, and they then hit the attacking button, the player, the avatar, the little guy, will start walking for, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 seconds, and then he stopped and then attack. Okay, so this will sort of a sequential execution of the commands, make it more soul-like. Okay, so you need to handle that. Sort of, you need to handle that the sweet spot. So if you look at here, the default setting is something like this. So we start with the idle, and then we gradually transit that to walking. Okay, so if you start this transition, so if you want this this guy to start walking, it will stay idle for a few I think milliseconds, and then it will start walking. And of course, you can actually just make that duration disappear. You can just hit this setting. You can have a different exit time. Okay, and you can even got exit time to 0, so you have no exit time. So you just when you hit that, start running, and we got transition duration, so it's a smooth transition. Of course, you can just ignore that. You can just hit that to 0. You can hit this exit time to 0. So you just start walking when there's you will hit a walk button, and exit time has exit time. You can say that you do not have exit time, so it will not return to the idle position. So if you are walking, you're just walking. Okay, so if for example, if you got a sort of a touting when you are making a sort of a street fighting game, and you can tout that. Okay, so you tout your opponent, and you play the animation, and the animation finished, you just go back to the original idle position, which is standing there, jumping around, something like that. Okay, so this is the most simplest way of dealing with that. But as we move deeper into our journey of game development, we're going to fine-tuning that and find the sweet spot for a much more difficult game like soul-like game, and we're going to introduce you guys that in the 3D game development. Okay, But for now, let's just make it pretty simple game and make the user happy. Okay, so make the player happy. So yeah, you don't want to torture your player unless you want to make a sort of soul-like game. But some player gets a satisfaction from that. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so if you look at the right side, sometimes you may see the preview or something like that. It will cover this, but for now, I already exit. Yeah, just to close that. You can see that right side we get a warning. Say transition needs at least one condition or an exit time to be valid, otherwise it will be ignored. So basically, I'm going to add one condition or an exit time to be valid. So I already just switch off this exit time. So which means that I'm going to add a condition. So under a condition, the idle will become walking, and under a condition, the walking will go back to idle. So what I'm going to do is to add a parameter here. So if you click here, you can add a parameter, and you can add a thing, float, integer, boolean, and trigger. Let me just use boolean because I'm just going to use a switch. So this will be our is walking boolean. So basically, this is boolean. You can switch it on, you can switch it off. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to use this parameter as a condition. So once this condition are met, the idle will transition into walking. Once the condition is not met, we will just go back. Okay. So what I'm going to do is to add transition. So remember, the list is empty, the condition list. So you're going to add that condition here. So I think you automatically just fill in is walking. Okay. So if you do not fill in, you can just choose that one. Or if you've got multiple parameters, you need to choose that one. And if it's walking true, you're going to transition that into walking. Okay. So remember, we also need to transition back. So if you're walking right now and you just do not press that key, you let go of that key, you want this little guy to go back to idle position. So yeah, the same method. So remember, you add this transition, you just right click, make transition, and just drag it back to the idle. This position does not matter. Okay, so this is just a sort of a GUI interface for you to write the code, and Unity, under the hood, they just got all this code generated. Okay, so you got the transition back, and you choose that transition. You can just get the exit time 0. You can just do 0 that out. Have the exit time, do not have it. Add condition is walking, and false. Okay, so if it's false, you just go back to idle. Okay, and don't forget this animation we're talking about. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to make a loop. So loop time, you need to switch it on just as we switch on the idle. Okay, we will loop that. Walking, we'll loop that. So it will just a loop. Okay, so let's test it out. Finger crossed it will work. Okay, so let's just play. We'll just load a script. Let's make it bigger. It's idling, and let's switch it on. So it start running. Okay, I think this is a pretty fast walking. Nearly yeah, treat it as running, but yeah. Remember, if I switch it off, it will just go back to the subtle movement of idling animation. Okay, so I think that works pretty good. And of course, if you want the walking be really walking rather than just sort of a running kind of walking, you can adjust the speed of it. So remember, the animation just a series of frame of the PNG file. Okay, so any animation, the idling animation, the walking animation, you can change that. Remember, we got a speed here. This speed is 1, the walking speed is 1. So if you want this actually look at running, you can make it say maybe 4. That's pretty fast. Okay, So you need to rerun that because you already changed that. Yeah, I think I maybe yeah. Okay, so we got pretty fast. Okay, and we got idle. I think idle one is this is good, and walking. This is definitely not walking. So you can duplicate another animation and say that this is called running, and it can have a different state. Okay, right now I think maybe the speed we just go to one is already pretty fast, and but I think it can count as walking. Okay, it can count as walking. So yeah, of course you can make it slower, but I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. Okay, this is with running-ish walking, and yeah, let's just leave it. So I think that's pretty much it, and here's a little challenge for you. I got a lot of animation, for example, attacking animation, the blocking animation, the dashing animation, the die animation, the dizzy, the idle, the jump. We got jump animation? Yeah. Let's go jump. What is called jump? Clearly, this does not actually give this a little guy sort of a higher up thingy. So and let's just play with the attack because I love attacking, and I think I even got this sort of a strike. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So walking, winging. Yeah, let's use the attacking. Okay, I think attacking is pretty good practice. So yeah, let's go back to attacking, blocking. Yeah, let's just go with attacking. Okay, so if you already follow along, you already download this file, you can just pause this video, you try to have a attacking animation made, and you can then play this video and check the process. Okay, so yeah, pause the video and try it yourself. Okay, so yeah, let's get attacking animation ready. So we get attack, enter this block. So yeah, don't worry about that, and do not use a shift, rather use this sort of a command 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so 6 PNG image for attacking. Right click, we got correct, we get the animation, and that will be our attacking animation. Okay, and of course click and drag, go to the animations, and yeah, double click animation, we got attacking, just bring it to here. Let me use another mouse because I can multiple mouse scatter around my table. Attacking, okay, click and drag, we got attacking here, and of course same old method, just make transition. Okay, attacking and make transition back to idle, and click this transition. If you don't want all this sort of settings adjusted, you can just get rid of all that, and of course you can leave the default, so you can see the difference. Okay, so if I just it will be something like this. Okay, but if I use the sort of a transition, it will be something like this. That's depending on you, sort of you need to find the sweet spot. Okay, so if you want this to be an instant change, you can do something like this. But I think the transition is pretty good. Okay, let's live with the transition part. Okay, and but the exit time, I think I'm going to make it smaller, maybe 4, something like that, maybe 3. So I don't want this sort of holding this for a pretty long time, maybe 2. maybe just one. And transition duration, let's make that, yeah, maybe a little bit longer, yeah. And of course switch off the exit time, because what I'm going to do is to make another parameter for that. So trigger and is a attacking float, and then you can say that it's just the preview down, and that is walking, is attacking, and you need to make it float. Is that float? Yeah, I think I need to just switch it up. Condition is walking, is attacking, and it's pretty weird. Oh yeah, because I made yeah, let me just delete that. Because I accidentally made not a boolean. So yeah, it's attacking. You can switch it and you click it, and transition is attacking true, and then transition is attacking false. Okay, so let's try this out. Okay, it's walking, it's attacking. Okay, I forgot to loop it. So attack. Yeah, this is a common bug that we will encounter multiple times. I always forgot about switching it on. So yeah, it's walking, it's attacking. Ooh, this is pretty fast. Okay, and of course you can add as many animation as you like. Okay, we got a sort of a hurting, dashing, and winging, all sort of animation. You can add all that here, but right now let's just use these two. Okay, and then we're going to yeah, make something more interesting. Okay.